Sure. Very good evening to all of you. कैसे हैं सब लोग? How are you? Today we are covering chapter 9, 10, 11 and 12. Fourth chapter we are going to cover registration, invoice accounts and records, e-way bill, tax invoice. Correct. So first I am starting with the registration chapter. LMN Limited Coimbatore exclusively manufactures and sells product X which is exempt from GST issued relevant under the company sell the product X only within Tamil Nadu. The turnover in the previous financial year was 45 lakh. Company expect the sales to grow 30% in the current year. Company purchased the additional machinery for manufacturing for the product X on particular this date. Purchase price of the capital goods was 30 lakh exclusive of the GST. However, from 1st November 2025, exemptions on the product X was withdrawn and it is levied to the GST. Turnover of the company for the half year ended was 45 lakh. Advise whether it need to get registered. First, you tell me that if I am only making the exempt supply, do I need to take mandatory registration? If I am making only exempt supply and my turnover exceed the threshold limit, do I need to take registration in this case? Just give me the answer. I will make some combination, permutation combination, and accordingly I request everyone to give the answer. So Kuldeep and Linga, you are saying if my turnover exceed the threshold limit, even if I'm making the exempted supply only, if I'm making the only exempted supplies, then I also need to take registration. Kuldeep and Linga, एक बार yes या no कर दीजिए. Navneet, I got clarity from you, but let me receive the answer. Okay, Mandal is saying okay. ठीक है, agreed with you. Just I like to ask anyone who is saying yes. Anyone who is saying yes in this case? Anyone who is saying yes in this case? Fully agree. So I am saying if I am dealing in the exempted supply only, I am not reached to this question yet. मैं अभी तक इस क्वेश्चन पे पहुंचा ही नहीं हूं. I am just making some permutation combination to bring the clarity. Then we will discuss this question. Now the question is specific to Linga and Kuldeep. If my turnover exceed 40 lakhs and I am only engaged in the exempt supply, do I need to take registration? Yes or no? Simply yes or no. You can say yes, no. So your answer is yes, but the correct answer is no. Why no? Section 23. Section 23 says, if you are dealing exclusively, this word is important, exclusively in the exempt supply or supply which are not leviable to tax, supply which are not leviable to tax, then you are not required to take registration irrespective of any limit. So meaning thereby, whether my turnover is 1 crore, but if I am making only exempt supply, section 23 giving me the relaxation to take or to exempt from registration. Is this clear? ये पॉइंट क्लियर है. अब एक और पॉइंट ऐड करते हैं. नाउ आई एम मेकिंग ओनली exempt supply. I am making only exempt supply, but how to prove he is exempted? Question will tell, na. See, from the point of view of our exam, they will specify. They will specify. So how to deal in the practical life, that is different scenario. We will discuss later on. तो अभी हम क्या करते हैं, एग्जाम पे फोकस करते हैं. Now tell me one thing. If I am only exempt dealing in the exempt supply, but I am making interstate. I am making interstate. My turnover cross any limit, whatever the limit is, let's say 40 lakh. Do I need to take registration in that case? सभी लोग आंसर करना. Please give the answer, everyone. I am making only exempt supply, but this time I'm making the interstate exempt supply. Do I need to take registration? Or in this case, it is not required. I am dealing in interstate exempt supplies. Do I need to take mandatory registration or not required? I have received only two answers, Nikhil and Navneet. Rest of the participant, please give the answer. बाकी सभी लोग okay. Okay. Again, answer. Can you tell me the reason? Can you tell me anyone can tell me the reason why yes? So whomsoever are saying no, fine, no problem. But मैं उनसे रीजन जानना चाहता हूँ जिन्होंने आंसर yes किया है. Whomsoever is saying answer is yes, I like to understand from them. Can you tell me the reason why they need to take registration? ठीक है, one logic is correct, interstate इसलिए. Now point is, if I go to the section, absolutely, yeah. Now Mahalakshmi has quoted section 24. What is the section 24? It giving the situation in which one has to take mandatory registration. Correct? One has to take mandatory registration. ठीक है ना? एक और ओपन करते हैं. Let me open the institute study material. तो मजा आएगा. We'll enjoy. So I'm unable to open that particular study material. That is okay. But I like to highlight only if you are dealing exempted supply, if you are dealing in the exempted supplies, whether you make interstate or you make intrastate, in both the cases, you are not required to take registration. Because just I'll open the CBIC. Just मैंने आपके रेफरेंस के लिए CBIC का ओपन किया है. I can show you the section 24 and I'm like to highlight only one word. Mahalakshmi, you are saying correct, person making interstate supply. But what is the word written in the section 24? taxable supplies. It means section 24 does not cover exempted supply. So meaning thereby, what is the answer? Meaning thereby, if I am making the interstate supply exclusively exempted, it does not cover in the section 24. Therefore, I am not required to take mandatory registration in this case. Clear? Is it clear to all? Because majority of are saying that answer is need to take registration. Now we are coming to this question. What is the question saying? Now this question has changed that company has made the supply which are exempted till 30th October, and after that it become taxable. So it means within the year I am making the supply which are exempted, but later on this supply become taxable. What is your answer? Exempted turnover 45 lakh and taxable turnover, let's say 45 का 30% कितना होगा? Can you tell me 45 का 30%? 4 के 12 और 13 13.5. So approximately you can say, approximately, let's say, just hypothetically I'm saying, this is not given in the question, but I'm saying कि let's say the turnover of taxable supplies 13.5 lakh. It is below threshold limit. Do I need to take registration? What advice you will say? Let me again tell you. Financial year 25-26, supply till October 25, it is 45 lakh. And from 1st November 25 to, let's say, 31st March, just hypothetically I'm saying 31st March, just hypothetically I'm saying it is 14 lakh, 15 lakh, let's say. Then in that, this is taxable and this is exempted. Now tell me, in this case, whether this person is required to take registration or not. Why mandatory? Correct, Navneet. Linga, you are correct. Answer is correct. Give the reasoning. Now, in the current year, can you tell me he would be as turnover taken from April? Even if it is exempted, then also I will take. Even if it is exempted, then I also take. Will I add the exempted turnover in the annual aggregate turnover? To calculate the threshold limit, do I need to add exempt supply? Answer is yes. This both will be added, which comes to 6. Figure is given by me only. This is assumption. I have intentionally kept below 15, below 20 lakhs, below 40 lakhs. ठीक है ना? So answer is उसका. In short, I am writing annual aggregate turnover is AATU. Annual aggregate turnover is beyond the threshold limit, and section 23 ka benefit is not available to him because it talks about if you are engaged only in exempt supply, then only the relaxation is applicable. But this person is not only dealing in the exempt supply, correct now? He is dealing in the exempt, which now become taxable within the financial year. So I cannot say that he's exclusively engaged in the, I cannot say that exclusively engaged in the exempt supply. I hope it is clear, everyone. Now give me the answer of this question. You all can give easily. Yesterday we have solved this. Now tell me, give your answer. I'll appreciate if you give the correct answer. Now he has purchased the capital goods 30 lakh excluding GST at the rate of 18%. So GST would be 5,40,000. Okay. Now advise whether it can avail the ITC on the machinery purchase. for manufacturing the X item, can he avail the ITC? Can he avail the ITC? Just first give the answer broadly, and then I will go into the detailing part. First, you give the answer whether he can avail the ITC or not. ITC is available. Navneet is saying, Linga is saying ITC is available. Okay. Just think, requesting everyone to give the answer. Everyone. If GST paid on capital, Navneet, it is clearly written, na? 30 lakh excluding GST. It means GST kitna percent at 18%. He's saying the 30 is purchased the machine 30 lakh and GST is over and above that 18%. So he has paid the GST. Any other answer? Only 4 participant has given the answer. What about rest of the participant? Rest of the participant, Nikhil, Kuldeep, Abhimanyu, Bala Murugan, Barna Mandal. Kindly give the answer now. Whether ITC would be available or not. The same formula like last time can be applied time. That is okay. Just simply yes or no. So in this question, we are only asking whether he would be able to take ITC or not. Very, very important point which I like to highlight. Now, if I say the answer is no, अगर मैं कहूँ answer no है, can anybody who's saying answer is no? Because all the participant is given the answer yes. Now, ठीक है. Let me ask some more point and then we will conclude whether answer is yes or answer is no. Let me ask the date on which particular item become taxable. Date on which particular item become taxable. एक सेकंड खाली एक मिनट एक जस्ट एक मिनट दीजिएगा मेरे को. मैं एक बार जस्ट क्वेश्चन. ठीक है, एक इंस्टीट्यूट का मटेरियल या फिर मैं इसी का सेक्शन 18 ओपन कर दूं. When he purchased the machine, whether he was when he purchased the machine, whether he was registered or not, just asking. क्या उसने मशीन प्रायर टू रजिस्ट्रेशन परचेस किया या रजिस्ट्रेशन के बाद परचेस किया? बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग पॉइंट है. Now try to understand. It is a very interesting point. Believe me, friends. It is a very interesting point. Why I am saying so? Do you remember section 18? Able to see the section 18 in front of you? Let me read that particular transaction where an exempt supply become taxable supply. Such person shall be entitled to take the credit of input tax in respect of input held in stock, input contained in semi-finished goods or finished goods. In stock related to such exempt supply and on capital goods exclusively used for such exempt supply on the day immediately preceding the date from which it become taxable. See, just I like to highlight that in the section 18, there are 4 scenarios. Clause A, if I am taking voluntarily, if I am taking mandatory. एक मिनट सुनिएगा. Now, do you think that it is covered in point number 3 and point number 4? Arora, you are saying, Mr. Arora, you are saying explain 2 and 3 point. Which 2 and 3 point of section 18 you mean to say? See, मेरा जो ट्रांजेक्शन था, will it be covered in the clause D or not? Navneet, I hope you could get my point that you have given the answer that it is covered in the clause D. Therefore, they are entitled to take D covered. Covered under D or not? Very simple, whether it is covered under D or not. If it is covered under D, he would be entitled. If it is not covered under D, he would not be entitled. Now the question is very specific. क्या ये transaction, will it be covered in the clause D or not? I like to highlight one point. Where an exempt supply of the goods or services or both by a registered person become taxable. When the date on which this item become taxable on 1st November 2025, whether he was registered person, क्या वो registered था उसके दिन? Whether he was registered person in that on that day, क्या वो registered था उस दिन? On 1st November I am talking about. Answer is no. Will he get covered in this particular clause? क्या वो इस clause में cover होगा? Answer is no. He will not be get covered by this clause. एक बात ध्यान रखना. Prima facie it appear that it become exempt to taxable. He will be covered by 8 clause D. And because it is covered in the clause D, he can take the ITC of the capital goods. It appears, but he is not covered in the clause D. He is covered because he is not registered. Therefore, I can say that he has taken the voluntary registration or mandatory registration. Therefore, I can say he has taken the voluntarily or mandatory registration. He has taken this clause A. He is covered in the clause A, where ITC will be available of input held in stock, semi-finished or finished goods. No ITC of capital goods. Therefore, in this case, he will not be entitled to take ITC. Is this clear? मैंने आपको कहा था ना, very interesting question. Requesting everyone, if it is doubt, kindly ask me. And Mr. Arora, you are asking some first or second point. Can you please tell me? Can you please tell me which point you like to ask? First and second में समझा नहीं. किसका first or second? I have seen your chat slightly after some time. Therefore, I do not understand. Would you like to ask for section 18 or would you like to ask for main question which I have given to you? Which I just want to you. ठीक है. Question number 2. So everyone is agreed now. Balamurugan, Mr. Balamurugan, you also agree with me that in this case, no ITC would be available. Kuldeep, Nikhil, Mandal, Prajapati, everyone. Abhimanyu, everyone requesting to confirm. Due to non-registration, at the time of switching, the item become exempted to taxable. He was not registered, therefore it will not fall under the clause D. These type of the mini, I can say, understanding is being checked by the examiner. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. Happy trader, the sole proprietor started the business of exempted as well as taxable goods in Assam. It provides the following details to the sales made in the month of April. All amount are exclusive of GST. Intrastate sale of the goods chargeable with 12%, 15 lakh. Intrastate sale of non-taxable goods, 5 lakh. Intrastate sale of alcoholic liquor and intrastate sale of tobacco. Now, first calculate the aggregate turnover. You are required to calculate the aggregate turnover. कितना aggregate turnover होगा इस केस में? Just take a minute. How much would be the aggregate turnover in this case? How much would be the aggregate turnover in this case? $25 lakh. Okay. Are you adding the alcoholic liquor also? Will the alcoholic liquor for human consumption is also been added in the aggregate turnover? Give me the reason. Do I need to add the alcoholic liquor for human consumption का sales in the aggregate turnover to determine whether I'm registered or not? Will requirement the registration or not? क्या मुझे ऐड करना है क्या? Very nicely explained. See, you all are saying absolutely correct, and specifically Bala Murugan, Navneet, everyone has given the clear answer. Everyone has given the clear answer. Linga, Mandal, everyone. Now, when I'm calculating the AATO, annual aggregate turnover, I'm required to add the exempted supply, taxable supply, export, everything. And what is being included in the exempted supply, I can say there are three supply which are considered as exempted. One is exempted, fully exempted from tax by notification. By notification. So we know that atta, dal, chawal, chini, unpackaged goods, these are exempted. Second is it will cover nil rated. Third is it will cover non-taxable supply. What is the non-taxable supply? What is the non-taxable supplies? Can anyone tell me what is the non-taxable supplies? Yes, one is petrol and alcoholic liquor for human consumptions. Alcoholic liquor for human consumption, and now one more item is being added, ENA, neutral alcohol, ethyl neutral alcohol. So this petrol means 5 specified petroleum product: petrol, diesel, ATF, aviation turbine fuel. ठीक है, 5 तरह के जो प्रोडक्ट हैं petroleum specified product, plus one is alcoholic liquor for human consumption. These are non-taxable supplies, and this is non-taxable supplies. It means it is an exempt supply as per the definition. Correctly, this is also become exempt supply because we are adding the exempt and taxable. So all four would be added. The turnover is 25 lakhs. Turnover is examine whether he is liable to be registered or not. In this case, whether he would be liable to be registered or not in this case. Very interesting question. Why liable? He is making only intrastate supply. He is making only intrastate supply, and turnover is 25 lakh. What is the relevance of the 40 lakh? Will it be applicable? अगर 40 lakh का जो थ्रेशोल्ड है इसको मिल जाएगा, देन ही वुड बी एबल टू रिमेन अनरजिस्टर्ड, राइट ना? क्या 40 लाख का टर्नओवर का बेनिफिट इसको मिलेगा या नहीं मिलेगा? गिव मी द रीजन. I know that he is making only interest rate supply. See, try to understand, he is making only interest rate supply. In that case, will he be able to take the advantage of the 40 lakh? If yes, then fine. If no, then why? If yes, then I'm fine. If no, then why? Give me the reason, either yes or give me the reason if your answer is no. अगर आपका आंसर नो है तो गिव मी द रीजन. So in this example, Navneet, it is only goods now. In this example, only goods, right? See, first is goods, second is goods, third is goods, and tobacco is goods. But Assam, okay. So Assam में limit is 20 lakh. Do you mean to say? Right answer given by Mahalakshmi as of now. Right answer given by Mahalakshmi as of now. यूपी मस्त. So इसमें 20 लाख है. Okay. Let me go to the institute material and I just highlight point that where 40 lakh limit is not applicable. Say if you are exclusively engaged in the goods, then limit is 40 lakh. We all know. But where the 40 lakh limit is not applicable, first is compulsory registration. That is okay. And what is this? If you are engaged in the supply of the ice cream, pan masala, tobacco, flies, bricks, etc., in that case, 40 lakh ka limit is not applicable. If you are engaged in the supply in the state of C, you are saying, giving the reasoning that because he is making the interested supply in Assam, therefore is required to take registration beyond 20. No. Why? Person engaging is making interested supply in the state of Arunachal, Uttarakhand, Meghalaya, Sikkim, Telangana, Puducherry and special category state as per section 22. और सेक्शन 22 के कारण अब जो स्पेशल कैटेगरी स्टेट है सिर्फ 4 लोग बचे हैं. कौन? नागालैंड, मणिपुर, मिजोरम एंड त्रिपुरा. Everyone got it now? See, your answer is correct. That limit 20 lakh would be applicable. But the reasoning is not correct because you are saying Assam hai and it is covered in the special category state. But the reasoning was because he is making the tobacco and therefore it required to take, matlab 40 lakh is not applicable. Correct? Tobacco. Perfectly okay. So great. Good question. I hope you like the question. So in this case, the limit would be 20 lakhs. Correct. I can say the limit would be 20 lakhs. चलो सर क्वेश्चन 3 पढ़ते हैं. क्वेश्चन 3 पढ़ते हैं. पूरा विजिबल है? हाँ. एक मिनट देख लो नेक्स्ट पेज में. यार नेक्स्ट पेज में अगले चैप्टर है. नाउ रीड द क्वेश्चन. क्वेश्चन नंबर 3. सी started his business. Nesmani has started his business in the month of Feb in the state of Odisha. ठीक है. Outward supply of the petrol intra 4 lakh. Will it be added in the aggregate turnover or not? Will it be added in the calculation of WAT or not? नवनीत, ये शॉर्टकट में प्रॉब्लम यही है कि लाइक ए, लाइक एम आर फॉर मल्टीपल स्टेट, ए फॉर मल्टीपल स्टेट, एम फॉर मल्टीपल स्टेट, तो यूपी मस्त, वेरी नाइस, गुड, बट आप कंफ्यूज ना हो, बस ये ध्यान रखना. So in this case, whether petrol will be added, everyone please say yes or no. हाँ, मणिपुर, मिजोरम, नागालैंड और त्रिपुरा. ठीक है, अभी बताओ नेक्स्ट. ट्रांसफर ऑफ exempted goods in his branches within Rajasthan, will it be added in the aggregate turnover? Sorry, exempt goods to his branch in Rajasthan, interstate है, will it be added in the WT or not? Will it be added or not? Fine, answer is yes. ठीक है. Outward supply the taxable goods by his branch in Uttar Pradesh. We are talking about Odisha. We are talking about Odisha. Do I need to add the turnover of Uttar Pradesh also? Do I need to add the turnover of Uttar Pradesh also? Just confirm. The answer is yes. ठीक है. Outward supply of service on which tax is payable under RCM by the recipient. Do I need to add in the aggregate turnover? No, the point 4 are very important. It is covered under RCM. Will it be added in the WTO or not? RCM supplies. Will it be added? मैं अभी आपके साथ पॉइंट 4 की बात कर रहा हूं. Let me again tell you, I am talking about point number 4. Let me tell you, I am talking about only point number 4. अभी मैं सिर्फ point 4 की बात कर रहा हूं आपके साथ. Will it be added in the aggregate turnover or not? 6 lakhs. Fine. Bala Murugan is saying not added. Perfectly okay. Navneet is saying not added. Okay. Navneet Maurya is saying 6 lakh not added. ठीक है. कुलदीप no. Perfectly okay. Supplier के लिए Gayatri saying yes and Navneet is saying no. Now read the point number 5 and then give me the answer. Will the point 5 be added in the aggregate turnover or not? Will the point 5 be added in the aggregate turnover or not? Will the point 5 be added in the aggregate turnover or not? Quickly, all give the answer. Please, all give the answer. Correct. So you all have given the answer. Now tell me, what about the 4? Will 4 be added in the WT or not? Earlier you are saying no, it will not be added. Will it be added or not? Point number 4. Turnover, will it be added or not? क्या 6 लाख को ऐड करना है या नहीं करना? Absolutely correct. See, the difference is, what is the difference between 4 and 5? What is the difference between 4 and 5? 4 and 5, it is outward and it is inward. If you read the definition of annual aggregate turnover, it's saying हम RCM add नहीं करेंगे. Which RCM will not be added? Inward RCM will not be added. Means, suppose I am a manufacturing company and I am receiving the transportation services. So in my turnover, because transportation services inward supply, I am paying the tax and the reverse charge. Will it be added in my turnover? Answer is no. But if if I'm calculating the turnover of truck wala transporter, it will be added. So therefore, outward supply will always be added. Inward supply under RC will not be added. Is this clear? Any confusion? Kindly ask. Any confusion? Kindly ask. ठीक है बाला मुद्दा, परफेक्टली ओके। कुलदीप, नाउ इज इट क्लियर? हाँ, एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट। व्हाट इज एग्जांपल ऑफ फोर? Example of four, Kuldeep. I am chartered accountant. Let's say I am a chartered accountant doing the practice of chartered accountant. Suppose one of my client like to take like to engage me for filing the writ with High Court. Can I file the writ with the High Court? Answer is no, because I am a practicing chartered accountant. So I have engaged one my friend advocate. He is raising the bill to me. He is raising the bill to me. Then for me, it is an inward supply. This is the example of 5 number. Now talk about, now switch to yourself that you are advocate. You are advocate. You are raising the bill to me of 10 lakh rupees. It will not be added in my turnover, but this 10 lakh will be added in your turnover. Clear, na? From the above information, compute the aggregate turnover. Now everyone can say that what is the aggregate turnover? In this case, what is the aggregate turnover? Please quickly tell me what is the total? What is the aggregate turnover? In this case, 4 तो 6 6 12 5 17 तो 19 17 लाख। ठीक है, ठीक है। Now, whether is required to take registration under GST? Whether is required to take registration in the GST? Okay, okay, okay. Just requesting everyone to give the answer. Everyone is giving the answer. Please requesting everyone to give the answer. Requesting everyone to give the answer. He is doing service. Okay. तो क्या प्रॉब्लम है? सर्विस है तो कोई प्रॉब्लम है क्या? गुड्स की बात कर रहा है, ट्रांसफर ऑफ एग्जेम्प्टेड गुड्स की बात कर रहा है टू द ब्रांचेस, आउटवर्ड सप्लाई ऑफ टैक्सेबल गुड्स की बात कर रहा है, आउटवर्ड सप्लाई ऑफ सर्विस की भी बात कर रहा है. सो इज मेकिंग बोथ सप्लाई, राइट? फॉर आइटम नंबर 3, okay. So because you are saying that outward supply the taxable goods by his branch in Uttar Pradesh, he need to take registration mandatorily, is it? Mandatorily. First right answer is received from Gayatri. First right answer is received from Gayatri. So all are saying yes, no. Whatever you have given the reason, that is not correct. 9. 9. Correct. GST is not required if only intrastate and exempted intrastate. Absolutely correct. Bala Murugan, I am agreeing. So in this case, what would be the answer? Yes or no? Bala Murugan, answer is yes or no? Fine. Now let me underline inward supplies of the RCM on which tax is payable under RCM. Is it covered under section 24, mandatory category of registration? Is it covered under section 24, mandatory category of registration? Is it not covered under mandatory category of registration? Is it not covered if I am liable to pay the tax under RCM? If I am liable to pay the tax under RCM. So, do I need to take registration mandatorily? थोड़ा सा ना मुझे 2 मिनट ओपन नहीं हो रहा, यहाँ पर विजिबल नहीं हो रहा. लेट मी ओपन दैट पर्टिकुलर इन द गूगल क्रोम. स्विच करना पड़ेगा, दैट्स इट. If I am liable to pay the tax under RCM, even though my turnover is below threshold limit, because it is covered in the section 24, mandatory category of the registration, I need to take registration. Even though my total turnover is below threshold limit, my total turnover is below threshold limit. So compulsory registration, and I like to highlight only this point. Persons who are required to pay the tax under reverse charge, they need to take compulsory registration. Even though the turnover is 17 lakh, but because of this clause, the person is required to take mandatory registration. ठीक है सर, पॉइंट टू भी तो एक रीजन है. पॉइंट टू में क्या वर्ड लिखा हुआ है? मैंने आपको क्या बताया था? वर्ड टैक्सेबल सप्लाई ना. इंटर स्टेट कौन सा ट्रांजेक्शन मैंडेटरी में? टैक्सेबल सप्लाईज. एंड सी, इट इज सेइंग दैट इट इज एग्जेम्प्टेड सप्लाई इंटर स्टेट. क्लियर? इज इट क्लियर? नवनीत एग्जेम्प्ट है. अगर ये टैक्सेबल होता देन फाइन, नो प्रॉब्लम. दैट वी हैव डन वन मोर एग्जांपल इन द लास्ट केस आल्सो ना. वो एग्जेम्प्ट सप्लाई को इंटरस्टेट सप्लाई कर रहा था, देन आल्सो इट इज एग्जेम्प्टेड, नॉट रिक्वायर्ड. यू हैव गिवन द आंसर दैट नॉट रिक्वायर्ड, चाहे इंटर हो या इंट्रा हो. इज इट क्लियर? क्लियर टू एवरीवन? Both inward and outward RCM both require registration? No. 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 What it says, person who is required to pay the tax under RCM. Who is paying the tax under RCM? Who is paying the tax under RCM? Always recipient. Recipient. So therefore, this would be talking about recipient. Now let me give you your answer. If a person making 19 lakh taxable intrastate and making 6 lakh inter exempted, then no registration? No. See, try to understand whether exempted would be added in the AATU or not. Point number one. Will it be added or not? It will be added. So in your example, you add 19 plus 6. So answer would be 25 lakh in your example. In your example, it is 25 lakhs. In your example, it is 25 lakh. I need to take registration. I need to take registration. So only when the total after adding exempted and taxable, even though it is below threshold limit, then you have to go for 24. Think about that, whether any transaction, whether your any outward supply, inward supply are being covered in that particular mandatory category. और नो. ठीक है. एक पॉइंट और बता देता हूँ कुलदीप, आपके सॉरी नवनीत, आपने जो क्वेश्चन पूछा उसके लिए. राइट. राइट. So these all combination you have to see, like tobacco can be, नहीं, सी, टोबैको कुड बी वन एक्सेप्शन कि अगर एग्जांपल में टोबैको घुसा हुआ है तो वो 20 नहीं 40 नहीं 20 होगा. इस एग्जांपल में सर्विस था तो 40 नहीं 20 होगा. इज दैट क्लियर? So there could be the other combination. Only I like to discuss your example, that because you have added, if you are saying only goods, then 40 lakh is applicable to 40 lakh is applicable to intrastate ki inter or intra both? Inter or intra both or inter? No, my dear friend, it is not both. It is not both. It is only intra. See, एक मिनट दीजिएगा, जस्ट अलाउ मी 1 मिनट है, मैं आपके पॉइंट को हाईलाइट कर देता हूँ so that you will get the clarity. So the 40 lakh is only, see 40 lakh का जो ये नोटिफिकेशन आया था ना, see 40 lakh का ये जो नोटिफिकेशन था ना, if you see the language, they are talking about only intrastate supply. So because they are only intra, and even if I am interstate, even though it is exempted, even though, see, only exempt is being covered in 23 and section 24. But you are giving the example by adding this notification. So ये जो notification 40 lakhs का जो turnover का threshold का exemption है ना, 40 lakh not required to take registration. It is only for intra. Therefore, in this case, it will not be applicable. Vijay, sorry, Mr. Arora, Vismal Arora, how to pass in this subject? Just do the practice. Just do the practice. So, Linga, because this question is being prepared by me, it is not a study material question. Because study material question में क्या होता है? You have the answer, and you might have done the practice. Correct now. You had the practice and you had the solution also. So therefore, I have prepared this question considering you can apply your mind from considering all the aspects. It means agar intra 16 taxable and inter exempt 3 lakh in the Assam, then no registration, right? Because yes. Why no registration? Because it is below threshold limit. It is below threshold limit, right? Now you say 16 plus, let's say 5 lakh. 16 plus 5 lakh. Not 5, 5 lakh, ठीक है. More than 20. Then would you require to take a registration? Answer is yes. Why? Because you are not exclusively engaged in intra. You are not exclusively engaged in intra. Therefore, is this clear? कोई भी स्टेट ले लो यार, कोई भी स्टेट ले लो ना, कोई भी स्टेट ले लो. Why you are saying Assam or why? कोई भी स्टेट ले लो ना. 40 lakh का लिमिट इज इंट्रा स्टेट सप्लाई. 40 lakh का लिमिट इज इंट्रा स्टेट सप्लाई एंड एग्रीगेट टर्नओवर. So अगर मेरी एग्रीगेट टर्नओवर 40 से एक्सीड होगी, then I will fall under the registration. Or it is below, but I am making intra plus inter, then fall. Third is I am making goods and services, then I will also fall. Got the answer? अगर 40 लाख के केस में इंटर एग्जाम 40 लाख कर दिया तो रिक्वायर, हाँ रिक्वायर्ड, बिकॉज आई एम नॉट एक्सक्लूसिवली एंगेज इन द इंट्रा स्टेट सप्लाई. Because I'm not exclusively engaged in the intrastate supply. See the relaxation given by any section or notification. You have to see that. See, you have to see that what is being relaxed. It is being relaxed only intrastate supply and only goods. Correct. If I make inter only exempted supply, you are saying only exempted supply. If I make inter, then no limit. Correct, 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 correct. Let me move to the next question. Now this registration chapter is over. Tax invoice, debit note and credit note. ठीक है, थोड़ा जितना बड़ा कर सकता हूँ मैं, इंक्रीज कर दूंगा साइज फॉन्ट. Rameshwar Industries is engaged in the manufacturing semiconductor in the state of Assam. It make only intrastate supplies. It provide you the following informations. Commencement business 14th March को. If we are presenting answer, how to now? I think answer का presentation का class GST के regard में Mr. Arora, it has already been happen on last Friday, last Sunday. So that was matlab ki special class has been kept by the Board of Studies. Here I have to discuss the practical problem only. I have given the answer that how to present. So when it will be uploaded in the portal now, when it will be uploaded in your Board of Studies portal, you will see the answer and by which you can see that how you need to give the present or how it will be answered in the exams. Okay. So business has been commenced on 14th March. Turnover exceed 10 lakh on 29th March. Okay. 20 lakh on 15th April. 40 lakh on 20th April. Application for registration is made on 15th May. Registration granted on 29th May. Please tell what is the effective date of registration in this case, along with reason. Reason जरूर देना, just answer मत देना कि सर ये date है. हाँ, semiconductor goods है ना. Goods. Okay. See, this is goods. Okay, this is goods. ठीक है. Just check Assam and just check intrastate. What is the threshold limit? What is the aggregate turnover limit beyond which it need to take registration? यहाँ पर threshold limit क्या होगी? By beyond which you need to take registration 20 or 40? 20 or 40? What is the threshold limit for intrastate supplies within Assam? What is the threshold limit for registration if I am making the sale intrastate supply and only within Assam? If I am located in Assam and making the intrastate supplies, then what is the goods? नवनीत, ये सामने तो लिखा हुआ है ना, इस क्वेश्चन में बात कर रहा हूँ भाई, इस क्वेश्चन की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं. You are appearing in which term? Aroda, you are appearing in which term? How? In which attempt you are giving the exams? This LVRC class is for May batch, right? May 26. And May 26 ka LVC is already being completed. May 26 ka LVC is already being completed. So what is the turnover threshold limit? 40 lakhs. Okay. And 40, Nikhil 40. Because for Assam intrastate supply, 40 lakh is applicable. We have already discussed in the registration chapter. First question. Okay. So the date on which you need to take registration is 28th April. So what is the time limit within which application has to be made? What is the time limit within which application has to be made? कितना time limit है? 30 दिन का. What is the time limit? 30 days. He made the application 15th May. Whether it is within the time limit or beyond the time limit, whether it was within the time limit or beyond the time limit, answer is within the time limit. कुलदीप 28 अप्रैल से 28 मई तक करना था, उसने 15 मई को कर दिया. So it is within the time limit ना. Time limit is 30 days. You yourself told ना कि 30 दिन का time limit है. Agreed? See, 28 April is the date he is required to take registration. Correct. And within 30 days he need to apply. And he has applied on 15th April. He has applied on 15th April. Date of application we need to see, not the date of granting the registration certificate. Kuldeep, we need to see the date of application, not the date of granting the registration certificate. See, I have to apply I don't know na. When the officer will give me the registration, he may give the 1 day, 2 day, 10 days, 20 days, whatever. What is in my control? Application. So they are saying that application need to be made within 30 days. So in this case, because I have made within 30 days, then effective date of the registration will be effective date of registration will be effective date of registration will be the date on which my turnover exceed the threshold limit. The date on which my turnover exceed the threshold limit. So what is my effective date of registration? 28 April. Any doubt on this? Please ask. इसमें किसी को कोई doubt है? Anyone have any doubt on this? That how this 28 lakh is being calculated? 28 April has been arrived at. 28 April has been arrived. Any doubt? Any doubt? Kindly ask. No problem. Fine. Let's move further. So 28 April, किसी को doubt? No doubt. एक बार हिंदी में विजय, ओके ठीक है। अरोड़ा, मैं आपके लिए हिंदी में बोल रहा हूँ, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं बेटा। देख यहां पर क्या हुआ, यहां पर आसाम है और इंट्रा स्टेट है, ठीक है। तो इसके लिए जो टर्नओवर की लिमिट है वो 40 लाख की लिमिट है, क्योंकि ये सिर्फ गुड्स की सप्लाई करता है, इंट्रा स्टेट है, तो 40 लाख की लिमिट है। 40 लाख कब क्रॉस हुआ? 28 अप्रैल को। तो द डेट ऑन विच उसे रजिस्ट्रेशन लेना था वो कौन सा डेट हुआ? 28 अप्रैल। यहां तक बात क्लियर है? 28 अप्रैल को लाइबिलिटी थी उसकी रजिस्ट्रेशन की। अब रजिस्ट्रेशन लेना कितने दिन में? 30 दिन में। अप्लाई मतलब लेना मतलब डेट ऑफ एप्लीकेशन, उससे 30 दिन में अप्लाई करना था, उसके पहले उसने कर दिया। तो इसके लिए इफेक्टिव डेट ऑफ रजिस्ट्रेशन अगर आप देखेंगे तो आपका आंसर आएगा 28 अप्रैल, क्योंकि 28 अप्रैल मतलब अगर 30 दिन में उसने रजिस्ट्रेशन अप्लाई कर दिया तो द डेट ऑन विच ही नीड टू टेक रजिस्ट्रेशन, द डेट ऑन विच ही नीड टू टेक रजिस्ट्रेशन, वही मेरा डेट ऑफ लाइबिलिटी हो जाएगा, वही मेरा इफेक्टिव डेट ऑफ रजिस्ट्रेशन हो जाएगा। ठीक है, अब हम आगे बढ़ते हैं। पीरियड फॉर विच रिवाइज्ड टैक्स इनवॉइस कैन बी इश्यूड। पीरियड फॉर विच not that within which, period for which revised tax invoice can be issued, मतलब कौन सी तारीख से कौन सी तारीख के बीच के लिए पीरियड बताना, ध्यान रखना। एंड इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट, फॉर कौन से पीरियड के लिए रिवाइज इनवॉइस इश्यू किया जा सकता है, कौन से पीरियड के लिए रिवाइज इनवॉइस इश्यू किया जा सकता है। So Navneet has given the correct answer. Okay. Wow. Linga has also given the correct answer. Very nice, beta. I need the answer from everyone. I need the answer from everyone. I need the answer from everyone. So onwards, Balamurugan, from date you have given the correct, but period पूछा मैंने, मतलब क्या हुआ? आपको from और to दोनों बताना है, from and to दोनों बताना है। निखिल, from and to दोनों बताना आपको। वर्णा मंडल एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट बेटा। फाइन। सो व्हाट इज द आंसर? 28 अप्रैल टू 28 अप्रैल टू 29 मई, जिस दिन रजिस्ट्रेशन आया, when I got the registration then only I can issue the tax invoice ना। तो इस डेट की जो भी सप्लाई है, इस डेट की जो भी सप्लाई है, I will prepare the revised invoice. And what is the time limit to prepare the revised invoice? What is the time limit to prepare the revised invoice? What is the टाइम लिमिट? 30 दिन तक का टाइम लिमिट है, 30 डेज का टाइम लिमिट है, करेक्ट। सो 29 मई से लेके 29 जून तक उसे रिवाइज इनवॉइस इश्यू करना है। बेटा वो तो आप अपनी अरोड़ा बेटा, वो तो प्रिपरेशन एंड एवरीथिंग डिसाइड की मुझे एग्जाम कब देना है यार। सो फोर्टनाइटली जो प्रोग्राम चल रहा है ना बोर्ड ऑफ स्टडीज का, आप उसको ज्वाइन कीजिए। वहां पे फैकल्टीज आते हैं इंस्टीट्यूट से, सो दे कैन गाइड यू मोर बेटर रिगार्डिंग दिस जनरल क्वेश्चन। ये क्वेश्चन कितने मार्क का होगा मुझे नहीं ध्यान यार, वो आपके चैट पे या कुछ आता, मतलब आपके ईमेल पर आता होगा यार। मतलब अगर आप बोर्ड स्टडीज की वेबसाइट पे जाओगे ना बेटा, तो यू विल फाइंड, मतलब लेट्स से कि अगर मैं जाता हूँ बोर्ड स्टडीज BOS, तो ये वाले प्रोग्राम की बात कर रहा हूँ, फ्रॉम 9th मार्च ऑनवर्ड से स्टार्ट हो चुका, तो यू कैन ज्वाइन एनी एनी डेट, जो भी डेट उन्होंने लिखी है। इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स ऑलरेडी खत्म हो चुका, डायरेक्ट टैक्स 17 मार्च ये भी खत्म हो चुका, 19 मार्च खत्म हो चुका। इंटर है ना, so you can join next, last is 24th March, so you can join this 24th March na, it would be better for you। ठीक है, so fine, now let's take a break of now let's take a break of अच्छा मुझे ध्यान नहीं है बेटा, मुझे ध्यान नहीं है, मुझे ध्यान नहीं है इसका। यू कैन कनेक्ट विद दी लाइक मेल और समथिंग लाइक दैट, आई डोंट नो। ठीक है, सो कितने मार्क्स मुझे नहीं ध्यान बेटा, मार्क्स का मेरे को नहीं मालूम क्वेश्चन कितने मार्क्स का है, आई डोंट नो। ठीक है, तो एक बार आगे बढ़े। So let's take a break of 10 minutes. We will resume at 7:15. 7:15 पर रिज्यूम करते हैं सर, ठीक है। sir. So now please solve the question number 2. Dreams World Private Limited is registered in the GST in the state of Haryana. During the 25-26, its aggregate turnover was 12 crore. In the month of April 26, it supplied the goods worth of rupees 12 lakh to Nightmare Limited, a registered person. Ascertain whether issuing e-invoice is mandatory in respect of this transaction. Do they need to issue the e-invoice in this case or not? Reason. Whatever you are saying, yes, no, give me the reason. Okay. Okay. Let me ask one question to all of you. Let me ask one question to all of you. ठीक है. So I'm using the white space. I have started a new company and registered in, let's say, April 26. I have started a new company in the month of April and also I taken the registration. My first month sale was 10 crore. April 26 का sales कितना था? 10 crore का. Now, do I need to issue the e-invoice in the May 26? I'm the new company. My date of incorporation was 1st April 26. In the first month itself, my turnover beyond 5 crore, will I covered under e-invoicing for my B2B supply? Will I be covered under e-invoicing? Will I be covered under e-invoicing in the 26-27? This is a new company. This is a new company which was incorporated on 1st April 26. There is no preceding year data. Current year data only. There is no preceding year data because the company was started in the 1st April 26 only. It is a new company. It is तो नहीं प्रोजेक्टेड सेल नहीं, करंट मंथ का सेल बता रहा हूँ. ओके, मैं डेट चेंज करूँ ऐसा. लेट्स से आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट फाइनेंशियल ईयर 25-26. A company who has incorporated on 1st April 25 and made the sale in April 25 more than 5 crore, let's say. Now in the month of the May 25, will the e-invoicing be applicable for B2B supply? Balamurugan, is it now example is okay, date is okay? So will the e-invoicing be applicable? Abhimanyu, what could be the reason? Why you are saying no? What could be the reason? So Balamurugan, according to you, the e-invoicing would be applicable, right? Invoice will be applicable. एक बार वापस कंफर्म करना. Quickly, other participant give the answer yes no. आपको तो बस एक yes या no ही करना है ना. मैं सेकंड मंथ की बात कर रहा हूं. आई एम आस्किंग द सेकंड मंथ. Absolutely correct, Balamurugan. So Abhimanyu has given the right answer. Balamurugan has given the right answer. The entire financial year e-invoicing will not be applicable. इस entire financial year के लिए e-invoicing नहीं होगा. Why no? Because the turnover should be more than 5 crore. It is in the preceding financial year. In any of the preceding, any of the preceding financial year starting from 17-18. So if the company has been incorporated in April 25, then 17-18 से लेके 24-25 तक किसी भी फाइनेंशियल ईयर में if turnover is more than 5 crore, then the company need invoicing would be applicable. And because I told you that it is a new company, so for the entire financial year it is not applicable because the preceding financial year में कोई turnover था ही नहीं. There is no turnover in the preceding financial year. Absolutely correct. Very nice, yeah. We are talking about the second question. So fine. First question, because it was already have that turnover in the preceding financial year, so which is more than 5 crore. So therefore, April 26, yes, it is applicable. What would be your answer if the Nightmare Limited is SEZ unit? What would be your answer if Nightmare Limited is located in SEZ unit? Then will this 12 be applicable as B2B? It is a B2B supply. Will the e-invoicing be applicable or not applicable? Okay. Okay. Uh, okay. The participant has given the answer. What about the rest of the participants? Everyone. Mandal, Balamurgan. Everyone, please give the answer. Okay. Okay. So three more participants have given the answer. What about the rest of the? We are 15. No problem, beta. No problem. Very nice. Tell me one thing. SEZ entity are exempted. It means SEZ unit are not required to prepare the invoicing. Am I right? SEZ unit are not required to prepare the invoicing. Correct. Now SEZ को e-invoice नहीं बनाना है. It means SEZ should be supplier or should be recipient. It means SEZ should be supplier or should be recipient. SEZ exempted है, डेवलपर नहीं. मैं भी SEZ यूनिट की बात कर रहा हूं, बट इन दैट केस ऑल्सो SEZ unit should be supplier. SEZ unit should be supplier. See, e-invoicing is exempted in respect of the supplies made by SEZ unit. Here, SEZ unit is the recipient, not the supplier. Therefore, and we are talking about SEZ, or we are talking about the Dreams Private Limited? Are we talking for the Dreams Private Limited or are we talking about SEZ? We are talking about Dreams Private Limited supplier. If the recipient, whether it is in SEZ, banks, anything, it is not material. If Nightmare Limited is SEZ and making the outward supply, then no e-invoicing. Is it okay? In this case, would your answer be Nightmare? E-invoicing would be applicable because we are not talking about for SEZ, we are talking about for Dreams Private Limited. Is it clear? Anyone have any doubt? Because all the participant is given the answer is no. All the participant is given the answer is no. ठीक है ना? मतलब कोई प्रॉब्लम, कोई कंफ्यूजन, यू मे डिस्कस, नो प्रॉब्लम। ठीक है, क्वेश्चन नंबर 3, रीड द क्वेश्चन नंबर 3 एंड गिव मी द आंसर। मैं थोड़ा सा इंक्रीज करता हूँ साइज, let me slightly increase the font so that you can easily read this question. Question number 3, we are talking about question number 3. Jing Trans of the Kolkata engaged in trading of transmitter. Okay, on 20th of May, क्वेश्चन 2 क्लोज हो गया। वी आर इन द क्वेश्चन नंबर 3 बेटा, वी आर इन द क्वेश्चन नंबर 3। तो मैंने पूरी स्क्रीन पे शेयर कर दिया, ठीक है ना। सो ऑन दिस डेट, the they have spent 500 unit of transmitter for exhibition at Chennai. उन्होंने 500 यूनिट ऑफ ट्रांसमीटर ऑन सेल्स ऑन रिटर्न बेसिस, ठीक है। कौन सी डेट, वो डेट याद रखना, ठीक है। आउट ऑफ दैट 500, 300 has been sold on 20th July. Okay. Out of 200, 150 has been returned, brought back to Kolkata on this date, and the balance 50 has neither been sold nor brought back. Explain the GST provision relating to the issuance of invoice with exact dates on which tax invoice need to be issued by the Jing Trans. 300 to be issued on 20th July. Perfectly okay. So इसमें तो कोई डाउट नहीं है. I do not have any doubt on this because it is sales, so the tax invoice is required to be issued. So you can say that because it is to be prepared on or before the removal of the goods. Question 3 complete. Okay, ठीक है बेटा, ठीक है, हाँ जरूर जरूर जरूर, ठीक है। So Methilia, so I have seen first time, you are not coming regularly. Mahalakshmi, kindly give the answer. Abhimanyu, Bandamandal, Gayatri, प्रजापति, थियासुमी, एवरीवन। बच्चा आंसर करोगे तो मुझे मोटिवेशन मिलेगा यार। इट इज ए डीम्ड सप्लाई। क्वांटिटी कितना, कितना क्वांटिटी बालामुरुगन? फॉर 50, फॉर 150, फॉर 200? ठीक है, मैं अभिमन्यु एग्री करता हूं, चलो। अच्छा, आपने आंसर दे दिया क्या? 150 का मैंने नहीं देखा, एक बार 150 का वापस आंसर बताएंगे, क्या दिया था आपने? रिटर्न शुड बी 6 मंथ्स। ओ ग्रेट, फाइन। सो यू मीन टू से, ओके, ठीक है, सोचिए, आप सोचिए 50 के लिए। फाइन, सो माई I am agreeing to this point that you need to prepare the tax invoice, fully agree. Now, deemed supply, you are considering deemed supply for considering for how many units? Is it 200, 150 or 50? Is it for 200? Is it for 150 or is it for 50? See, what is the problem? What is the provision that goods should come back within a period of, goods should come back within a period of See, goods should be either sold or come back within a period of 6 months. So if goods has been sent on 20th May, so add 6, so 20th July, 20th November. On till 20th November, how many units are sold? 300. Whether remaining 200 unit has been received by this date, whether 150 unit have been received by this date. क्या 150 unit has been received by this date? No, neither 150 nor 50. Can I say that out of 500 which has been sent on 20th May, my last day to issue the invoice is 20th November. I have sold 300 and till this date, nothing has been come back balance unit, nothing has been brought back, nor it has been sold. Can I say the remaining entire 200 unit will be considered as deemed supply? Entire 200 unit will be considered as deemed supply. 150 आ गया, लेकिन कौन सी डेट को आया? After the expiry of the 6 month. And 50 तो आया ही नहीं है. It means you have not received remaining 200 unit within 6 months. By this we can say remaining 200 unit has not been received back within 6 months, and therefore the entire 200 unit is being considered as deemed supply. Anyone have any doubt? Please confirm. और हाँ, 200 deemed supply मान लिया जाएगा. 200 deemed supply मान लिया जाएगा. Balamurugan, Mr. Balamurugan, please confirm. Is it okay? See, in that case, if my customer is not identifiable and I could not bring, then I will make the sale invoice as B2C sale. अगर मेरे पास customer नहीं है, then I will make it as B2C sale. ठीक है. So visual question number 2 I have shown in front of on the screen for you. Shall I move? Please confirm. When received goods, then what document issue? See, when I am sending the goods, Abhimanyu, when I am sending the goods on 20th of May, then I will, which document I will issue? I will issue my delivery challan for outward supply. Not supply, outward movement. I cannot use the word supply. Outward movement. So when the goods is being received back, then also I will prepare my delivery challan. Whenever there will be no tax invoice or bill of supply, then the document would be delivery challan as per rule 55. So you are saying that this Gayatri, you are talking about how much quantity? You are talking about 150 quantity. So because for the 150 and 50 both, I can say both were for 150 and 50. So I have prepared the tax invoice. So when it is being received, then nothing to be prepared. Or if you like to make the delivery challan, you can make, but because you have already made the document, tax invoice, therefore it is not required. I was explaining to Bhimanyu that let's say assume that goods has been received prior to 25th November. Then goods when it is being received back, brought back, then which document I will issue? Then I will issue the delivery challan. In this case, I have issued the tax invoice, therefore nothing is being required. No other document would be required. Fine. Shall I move? चलिए सर, थोड़ा क्विकली कर लेते हैं because we have the 2 more chapter. I hope all are enjoying. Mr. Mehta is engaged in the business of trading of books. He is eligible for composition scheme and opted for the same. seek your advice which records are your advice for record which are not required to be maintained by him as composition taxable person. कौन से रिकॉर्ड मेंटेन नहीं करने हैं उसे कंपोजिशन के अंदर. So this question is pure theoretical question. Anybody would like to answer? Anybody would like to give the answer? नॉर्मली एक स्टॉक ऑफ गुड्स है करेक्ट. एक स्टॉक ऑफ गुड्स है विच इज क्वांटिटेटिव डिटेल्स, गुड्स लॉस्ट स्टॉलन, वो सब उसे मेंटेन नहीं करना. एंड देन एक वो टैक्स पेबल, कितना टैक्स पेबल है वो डिटेल मेंटेन नहीं करना. बट आई वुड सजेस्ट कि एक बार आप रीड कर लेना सेक्शन 35. यू विल हैव द मोर क्लैरिटी. You will have the more clarity regarding section. Okay, you will have the more clarity. That's it. So let's move next question. प्योरली थ्योरेटिकल है, मैं आप एक बार ज्यादा रीड कर ले, क्वेश्चन देख लीजिएगा, मतलब यू विल सी द स्टडी मटेरियल, यू विल गेट द आंसर. Maintenance limited is a supplier the maintenance limited has approached you to ascertain the period for which the books of accounts need to be maintained. कितने पीरियड के लिए बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स मेंटेन करना है? How much period books of accounts need to be maintained? So beta, answer for that question, composition question. The first is stock of goods. Stock of goods, wherein he is required to maintain the quantitative details of goods received, opening balance, receipt, goods lost, stolen, destroyed, write off, disposed of. You remember 17.5, there is a clause H. You remember, so just pausing 1 minute, just wait for a minute. You remember that there is a section 17 subsection 5, which talks about the block credit. Mithila, right? So in the block credit, there is a provision that clause H talks about if I have supplied the goods, not supplied the goods, if my goods has been lost, stolen, destroyed, write off, disposed of by way of the sample or gift, then I need to reverse the ITC. Because composition dealer are not eligible to take ITC. Composition dealer are not eligible to take ITC. Therefore, the first relaxation is quantitative details of that stock of goods, wherein you need to maintain the opening, receipt, lost, first. Second is details of the tax. So if you see the section 35, you will find that one criteria is, or one requirement is, you need to maintain the tax payable, collected, paid, ITC, claimed, register of tax invoice, debit note, credit note, that is being relaxed for him. Why? Because he cannot charge the tax at all. So there are two, I can say the requirement. One is stock related, one is tax related. Details of the tax. Okay. So for which period you need to maintain? Again, you all are saying 8 years, 72 months. I don't need, I need the full answer. You have given the partial answer. You all have given the partial answer. There after only need to attend that provision class, sir. Mithila, not understood. What you like to say? Uh, there are after only need to attend that provision class, sir. मुझे ध्यान नहीं है. Yes, Bala Murugan has given the additional answer, partial answer, which I am not receiving. So first is 72 month, everyone know. First is 72 month, everyone know. And after that, one more year. If it is being not just after that, 72 month plus one more year if the particular document, etc. is subject to the, if the year is subject to the appeal under scrutiny, etc. तो उस केस में आपको एक साल और मेंटेन करना है आफ्टर द इन्वेस्टिगेशन इज डन. करेक्ट. सो प्लीज राइट बोथ. Please write both. What is both? 72 month everyone knows. And 72 month would be counted from end of the financial year or from which date? 72 month would be counted from okay beta. So you mean to say regular classes, section 17 is going on, is it? Okay, got it. ठीक है मित्रा, perfectly okay. So the 72 month would be counted from the due date of annual letter. 72 month would be counted from the due date of annual letter. ठीक है, due date of annual letter. And if you are the party of appeal, revision, or any other proceeding before appellate authority, revisional authority, tribunal, court, etc., then one more year. One more year after the final disposal of that appeal, or 72 months, whichever is later. ठीक. Third question, KGF Manufacture Limited engaged JPG and Sons as an agent to sell the goods on its behalf. For the purpose, enumerate the accounts requirement to be maintained by JPG and Sons as per rule. So, ठीक है. So you can refer that rule. I will not go to that particular rule in detail. Let me show that particular rule. So rule is 56, right? So what I was talking about, see, first I was talking about, are you able to see, right? Are you able to see? मेरा first question था, if you are registered under composition, then which documents or which records are not required to be maintained? So every registered person other than the person paying the tax under section 10, that is composition dealer. So in composition dealer, not required to maintain the goods received, supplied by him. Such account shall contain the particular of opening balance, receipt, supply, goods lost, etc. ये पहला requirement था. दूसरा अगर आप देखोगे, rule 56 sub rule 4 talks about that other than the person paying the tax under section 10 means this particular provision is not applicable for composition. These are the two provisions which are not applicable to the composition. ठीक. And then they are talking about agent. So if you go and see, they are specifically requirement for agent. Okay, so आप याद कर लेना and then you can give the answer. Particular of authorization received, authorization given, description valuing the quantity of the goods, services received on behalf of the principal, goods supplied on behalf of the principal, details of account for every principal, and tax or supply the goods services on behalf of every principal. These details is required to be maintained. Okay. सॉरी सॉरी बेटा वो प्रोनाउंसिएशन में बहुत और मिस्टेक होता है बिकॉज व्हेन आई एम शेयरिंग द स्क्रीन ना, तो जो चैट पर नाम दिखाई देता है ना, काफी छोटा दिखाई देता है. सो प्रोबेबली माय कंसंट्रेशन वाज नॉट देयर ऑन द नेम. ठीक है ना, सो दैट वाज द रीजन. स्टूडेंट करेक्ट. ठीक है बेटा, चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. नाउ लेट्स मूव टू द ईवी बिल क्वेश्चन. मिस्टर शंभू, a trader registered under GST in Delhi, is engaged in wholesale business of toys. ठीक है. Nandi registered under GST in Patiala, regular return filer, supplies the toys in the bulk to Mr. Sambhu for selling to end consumer. Okay. Mr. Sambhu paying the tax in regular scheme in Delhi, not filed 3B for last 2 months. Mr. Nandi want to generate e-way bill for toys amounting to rupees 5 lakh. Can he generate or not? In this case, क्या नंदी जनरेट कर पाएगी या नहीं कर पाएगी? Just give the answer. First give the answer. Okay. No. No. Since there is no. Okay. Okay. Only 4 answer I have received. And very interesting question. Question very interesting. So Balamurugan, according to you, what is the final answer? Yes or no? Can he generate that e-way bill or can he cannot generate the e-way bill? Balamurugan, I got your answer, but just say yes or no. I will correct. Okay. Okay. Abhimanyu. So the two right answer. One is Balamurugan, one is Abhimanyu. Okay. Okay. तो एक बात देखिए ना सर, एक बात देखिए, आप लोग सभी बोल रहे हैं कि दिस 3B फॉर द लास्ट 2 मंथ because he is the defaulter, he cannot generate the e-way bill. Do you agree? He is the defaulter, he cannot generate the e-way bill. He cannot generate the e-way bill. Who cannot? Who is the defaulter? Can you please tell me the name? Mr. Sambhu or Mr. Nandi? Can you please tell me the name in the chat? Ki who is the defaulter? Who is the defaulter? Sambhu या Nandi? Sambhu, right? Sambhu, who is the defaulter? And there was an amendment. They have made it. They have added the word outward supply. Person who is making the default. Person who is making the default cannot generate the e-way bill for outward supply. It means if he is receiving the inward supply, if he is receiving the inward supply, no problem. No problem. E-way bill can be generated if his GSTIN number, if the defaulter name is in the recipient, not as a supplier. So in this case, kindly tell me whether Sambhu is the recipient or whether Sambhu is the supplier in this example. Whether Sambhu is the recipient or Sambhu is the supplier. Whether Sambhu is the supplier or Sambhu is the recipient. Mr. Nandi supplying the toys to Mr. Shambhu. Mahalakshmi, Nagaraja, Nandi supplying the toys to Mr. Sambhu. So Sambhu become recipient or Sambhu become supplier? Sambhu is the supplier or recipient? Answer is recipient. Recipient, hai na? He is a recipient because he is purchasing the goods. So in this case, the rule 138E, which is talking about that e-way bill cannot be generated by the defaulter for the outward supply. Here the defaulter is not the supplier. Here the defaulter is the recipient. So e-way bill can be generated by this Mr. Nandi. No problem at all. Is it clear? Is this clear? हाँ, नागराजा करेक्ट 138 है और कैपिटल ई है जो ब्लॉकेज की बात करता है. ठीक है, एनी डाउट? अनलॉक इज GSTIN, वो तो जैसे ही पेंडिंग रिटर्न फाइल करेगा ऑटोमेटिकली अनलॉक हो जाएगा, ऑटोमेटिकली इट विल बी अनलॉक्ड बाय द पोर्टल। अदरवाइज ईवे बिल पोर्टल पर एक फैसिलिटी है, यू कैन गो एंड यूज दैट। Enumerate the situation where e-way bill is not required to be generated. Give me 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever you can. Correct, correct, Abhimanyu. Absolutely correct. So in your question, you are saying that if Sambu becomes supplier, then what? Am I right? Cannot generate the e-way bill. Enumerate the situation where e-way bill is not required to be generated. कब e-way bill नहीं generate करना? बहुत लंबी लिस्ट है. There is a long list. There is a long list, right? We can generate. Not clear. Mythili, not clear. What you are saying that is occur when we can generate. Not when the loss is occur. Why you are correlating with the loss? Not clear. One interesting point. Okay, okay. I'll ask one, two things. Whether exempted item require e-way bill. Whether exempted item require e-way bill. Exempted item require e-way bill. No, but except one. Except one. It means one item which is exempted require e-way bill. Rest all the item, more than 180 plus items are there. For that it is required. Can you tell me what is that item which are exempted but e-way bill is required? क्या आप मुझे बता सकते हैं वो कौन सा आइटम है जो exempted है but e-way bill required है? No problem, no problem. It was not handicraft. It was de-oiled cake. It was de-oiled cake. If you read the rule 138 sub rule 14, you will be able to understand. You will be able to recall, not understand. You know all the provisions. Correct. You know all the provisions. So, correct. Rule 138 ka sub rule 14 is giving the list of the exemptions. No problem. No problem, beta. Sorry, loss. Okay. Handicrafts. Goods transport by non-motorized vehicle. Yes. Kuldeep has given the correct, one more correct situation. If goods are transported through non-motorized vehicle, it is not required. Defense formation. Nagaraja has given the correct answer. If the goods are for defense formations, correct, then in that case, e-way bill is not required. Value is less than 50,000, perfectly okay all time, but when okay, less than 50 LNG supply to the household. Kuldeep, again, correct answer. So in the clause A, there is a long list, 8 item. So where the e-way bill is not required, they are saying LPG to the household, kerosene oil under PDS, postal baggage, natural or culture pearl, jewelry other than imitation, etc. Absolutely correct. So, okay, okay. In this case, okay. कुछ और बताइए ना. देयर आर 14-15 कैटेगरी. शॉर्ट डिस्टेंस, वेदर e-way bill is not required for short distance, whether e-way bill is not required for short distance. नहीं अभिमन्यु, उसमें हाफ ई-वे बिल तो चाहिए ना. फिर भी हाफ ई-वे बिल तो चाहिए ना. पार्ट बी इज बीइंग रिलैक्स्ड. 50% exemption is there. Part A is mandatory, but Part B is optional. You may leave when the goods are being sent from your location to the transporter location, same state within 50 kilometers. You can skip the Part B. You can skip the Part B, but Part A is mandatory. So it is not relaxation of e-way bill. Yes, Nagaraja. Up to 10 kilometer, no. There is no concept of up to 10 kilometer. There is no concept of up to 10 kilometer. It is only in case when you are sending the goods to the way bridge and it will come back. Then for this movement to way bridge only, distance 10 पहले था, उसको 20 कर दिया. If it is 20 kilometer, then no e-way bill is required, but it is not a sale. It is only you are sending the goods for way bridge. To that extent, e-way bill is not required. You have absolutely given the correct answer. Transit cargo to any country or to specific some countries? Transit cargo to all countries or some specific countries? To Nepal or Bhutan. To Nepal or Bhutan. Fine. Between two धर्मकांडा, distance exempt. No. दो धर्मकांडे में नहीं है. उसने बड़ा साफ लिखा है उस रूल 138 से रूल 14 में जाते ना. From your place to that way bridge, धर्मकांडा, and coming back. In that case, e-way bill is exempted. Question number 3. Agni Limited, a registered supplier, wishes to transport the cargo by road between two cities situated at distance of 368 kilometers. Calculate the validity period of e-way bill if it is over dimensional cargo or otherwise. मतलब दोनों केस में अगर कार्गो ओवर डायमेंशनल है तो कितनी वैलिडिटी होगी, अगर ओवर डायमेंशनल नहीं है तो कितनी वैलिडिटी होगी. Now tell me the validity period if my distance is 368 kilometers. Sorry. You are not coming on regular basis, Abhimanyu, na? You are not coming on regular basis because of other classes. Correct? Might be. I do not have any problem, but only when you all come, then class become more interactive. It is exempt to raise e-way bill for Maithili. Again, आपका pronunciation may be incorrect. For question number 3, you are saying? For question number 3? Are you talking about Maithili? Question number 3? No, it's not exempted. Why it is exempted 360? Why it is exempted? It is not there. So they have not talked about that is it exempted goods, is it something like that? So it has become liable, na? If the cargo is over dimensional, then what is the validity period? Okay, so 20 kilometer per day. 20 kilometer per day, right? 20 kilometer per day. So if you divide by 20, then 20 kilometer per day, then 19 days or 18 days? Are you talking about 18 days or are you talking about 19 days? Just confirm. अगर ये ODC cargo है, then in that case, what will happen? Is it 18 days or is it 19 days? More than 18, so we have to take the next day also, or any part thereof, 20 kilometer or any part thereof. So for example, even if it is 1 kilometer additional, then we have to take one extra days. So the answer is 19 days, correct? For second, if it is normal cargo, then if it is not ODC cargo, then if it is not ODC cargo, then 2 days. It is even if it is GTA, beta, even if it is GTA, then also e-way bill is required. Now, e-way bill is not made optional or not exempted for GTA. So the transaction may be exempted, or that transaction was supply of the service. Not here we are talking about, let's say I'm a supplier and you are my customer. I am sending the goods through one transporter. So do I need to prepare the e-way bill? So it is my supply of the goods which I am making the sale to you. So for that e-way bill is required. Transporter would be GTA. If all the conditions are satisfied, transporter would be GTA. But transporter is GTA, then it does not have any impact on applicability of e-way bill. E-way bill would always be applicable unless and until there are 13, 14 transactions which we have talked about in detail. Fine. Done, beta? So fine. Last question. Mr. Shyamnath, a registered supplier, has caused the movement of the goods of consignment value exceeding 50,000 in relation to supply and thus generated e-way bill. However, after generation of e-way bill, he found mistake in the e-way bill and want to edit it. Can he do so? He like to make the editing of e-way bill. Can he do so? So, Nagaraja, 24 hours he can do the editing, is it? Correct answer is editing not allowed. Editing not allowed. 24 hours is for editing or something else. 24 hours is something else or editing, or for the 24 hours ka provision is there, but for what? 24 hours is for 24 hours is for amendment, editing, cancellation, rejection. Kya hai 24 hours? See, if you talk about, just give me some, just kindly explain what is 24 hours, what is 72 hours, what is 15 days. Please explain all the three. With respect to e-way bill, मुझे एक बार आप एक्सप्लेन कीजिए ना, 24 आवर्स क्या है, 72 आवर्स क्या है, 15 डेज क्या है. What is 24 hours? Absolutely, you all have given the correct answer. All have given the correct answer. I'll give you the answer at last because I have not received the reply from all participants. I will give the answer at last, but Kuldeep has given the correct answer for this one. Barna Mandal, absolutely correct, beta. You have given the right answer for 24 hours. And Larma Lakshmi, you also given the correct answer. And Barna Mandal has given the correct answer. Okay. Abhimanyu, 24 hours correct, but 72 hours, I'm not sure. Then I'll write one more thing. You have given one more hint. Fourth point, I'm writing 8 hours. Fourth point, I'm writing 8 hours. नहीं बेटा, मैथिली थोड़ा थोड़ा like thought. Okay. For final report of inspection. नहीं. Okay, you are going to that. Okay, 3 days. ठीक है. 72, let me conclude. 72 hours is for cancellation. Anyone have any doubt? 72 hours is for cancellation. 24 hours is for cancellation. 72 hours is for rejection. Sorry. 24 घंटे किसके लिए कैंसिल कर सकते हैं. So editing is allowed? No, not at all. Once you generate the e-way bill, no editing is permitted. You can not do any editing in part A. Part A, 72 hours is counterparty can reject. Counterparty can reject the e-way bill. 15 days is for part A is done, part A is done, but part B is not done. I can update the part B within 15 days. When part B cannot be done, what could be that situation? It could be like 50 kilometers exemption that you remember. He has not added the part B. It could be that. It could be I have generated, but the goods ka movement has not happened today. Goods is moving tomorrow, day after tomorrow. So e-way bill would be required when you are moving the goods. So could be any reason, but what is the time limit of 15 days? The part is being prepared, but part B is not being added. So maximum time limit is 15 days is part B. What is 8 hours? That is extension of e-way bill. 8 hours within 8 hours from the expiry. जब एक्सपायर होने वाला है उसके 8 hours में you can extend that e-way bill. You can extend that e-way bill. Expiry, you can extend that expiry of e-way bill. Everyone is clear? Any question? Kindly ask. Any question? Kindly ask. Nagaraja, part B is editable. नहीं, part B can be. Part B can be updated multiple times within the validity period. Part B can be updated with multiple times, no problem. अगर validity है तो you can update the part B multiple times because it talks about that vehicle number. It talks about that vehicle number. So we have covered all the 4 chapter. Any specific point you like to ask? Otherwise, I will start the quick round of the question answer. Today we have the good time. Today we have good time. So I can start the multiple question answer from all the 4 chapter. Anyone have any question? एक बार आप पूछिए, नहीं तो मैं क्विक राउंड ऑफ क्वेश्चन आंसर स्टार्ट करता हूँ. Nagaraj, can you please tell me the page number? Exam का GST paper I will discuss in next class, sir. I cannot have that right now immediately. So either you share the screenshot or link. ठीक है, or I will discuss in the next class. Like last class you have also discussed one point ना. Extension time for e-way bill 8 hours. मतलब जैसे वो जब एक्सपायर होने वाला है उसके मैं 8 घंटे के अंदर अंदर मैं उसको एक्सटेंड कर सकता हूँ. डन, ठीक है, स्टार्ट करते हैं. मेरा क्वेश्चन क्विक राउंड ऑफ क्वेश्चन आंसर होगा. इट कैन बी कम फ्रॉम एनी चैप्टर. यू जस्ट नीड टू राइट द reply. Might be we have discussed almost all. We have all discussed. I am making the intrastate supply, but this supply the goods through e-commerce operator like Amazon, Flipkart within the state. Turnover is 5 lakh. Do I need to take mandatory registration? I am the supplier of the goods making intrastate supply through e-commerce operator within the state. Turnover is 5 lakh. Do I need to take mandatory registration? Supply of the goods within the state through e-commerce operator. Do I need to take registration mandatorily? Only 4 participants has given the answer. 5 lakh की टर्नओवर है, only below threshold limit है, but supply eco के through है. Do I need to take mandatory registration? Answer is no. Answer is no. This has been relaxed. Earlier it was covered under mandatory category, but now it has been relaxed. It has been relaxed. Only intra. If they like to make inter, then always it is taxable. Always it is taxable. Outward supply of RCM or inward supply of RCM. Which supply will be added in my aggregate turnover? Outward supply of RCM will be added or inward supply of RCM will be added in my aggregate turnover? कौन सी टर्नओवर में ऐड होगी, आउटवर्ड या इनवर्ड? विल इट बी आउटवर्ड, विल इट बी इनवर्ड? आंसर इज absolutely correct. Answer is outward supply. Can you give me one example of non-taxable supply? Can you give me one example of non-taxable supply? Can you give me one example of non-taxable supplies? Alcoholic liquor for human consumption. Non-taxable supply, it means petroleum, 5 specified petroleum product or alcoholic liquor for human consumption. Now you can say that this ethyl neutral alcohol, that is okay. Will it be added in my aggregate turnover? Will this supply, alcoholic liquor or petrol, will it be added in my aggregate turnover? Answer is yes, it will be added in my aggregate turnover. It will be added in my aggregate turnover. Can you please tell me the name of the document which is prepared by the composition dealer? Can you please tell me name of the document which is being prepared by the composition dealer? कौन सा डॉक्यूमेंट, क्या नाम है उस डॉक्यूमेंट का? उस डॉक्यूमेंट का नाम है आपका, which document he will prepare? Which document he will prepare? The answer is bill of supply. Can he collect the tax from customer? Can he collect the tax from customer? Can composition dealer collect the tax from customer? Can composition dealer make the supply of the goods through e-commerce operator within state? Can composition dealer make the supply of the goods through interstate? Through not interstate, through e-commerce operator within state? Can composition dealer make the supply of the goods within state through e-commerce operator? Through e-commerce operator within state? Yes, absolutely correct. Answer is yes, he can. Can he make the, see, listen my question carefully. Listen my question carefully. Please remember, I'm asking two questions. I am e-commerce, I am composition dealer. Okay. I am making supply of service. I am composition dealer. I am making supply of service within the state. These three conditions, remember. I am composition dealer. I am making supply the service through e-commerce operator within the state. Which service? Dividing in two parts. Service on which Zomato, Swiggy liable to pay the tax, that is 9.5. Can I do so? A restaurant registered under composition, can he make the supply through e-commerce operator? Service, can he make the supply of the service through e-commerce operator within the state? Which service? Where ECO are liable to pay the tax under section 9.5. And second service, can composition dealer make the supply of the service through e-commerce operator, which he is liable to collect TCS under section 52? थोड़ा सा बड़ा क्वेश्चन हो गया. Let me ask. Give me, I think it is not in your syllabus. You can see later on. Composition dealer के chapter में है. When you talk about composition dealer, if he is making the supply of the service through e-commerce operator, liable to collect TCS? Answer is no, he cannot do. Liable to pay tax under section 9.5? Answer is yes, he can do. That point I like to ask. What is the time limit to cancel the e-way bill? What is the time limit to cancel the e-way bill? What is the time limit to cancel that e-way bill? 24 hours. If I am advocate and my outward supplies is covered under reverse charge, my total turnover is 1 crore. I am raising the bill to the another organization who they are paying the tax under RCM. Do I need to take registration mandatorily? Do I need to take registration mandatorily? Abhimanyu, I am advocate. My total turnover is 1 crore and my outward supply is completely covered under reverse charge. Means the person whom I am raising the invoice, they are paying the tax under reverse charge. Do I need to take mandatory registration? मैं रिपीट करूं वापस क्वेश्चन, मैं एक एडवोकेट हूं, मेरा 1 करोड़ का टोटल इनवॉइसिंग है. On this invoicing, recipient is required to prepare the or paying the tax under reverse charge. Now, do I need to take registration mandatorily? That is my question. Advocate. The answer is no. Answer is no. They are not required to prepare. They are not required to not prepare. Yeah. They are not required to take mandatory registration in the GST because it is covered in the section 23 subsection 2. It is covered in the section 23 subsection 2. Correct? So, let's say I am the supplier and you are my recipient and I am registered in the GST. Let's say I am transporter. Assume that I am a transporter registered in the GST. When I am raising the invoice, because I am registered in the GST, I am providing the service to you. Who will prepare the invoice? Do I need to prepare the invoice or you will prepare the invoice self-invoice? Repeat karo. I am a supplier, GTA, registered in the GST. I am giving the service to you. You are paying the tax under reverse charge. Then tell me, do I need to raise the tax invoice or you will prepare the self-invoice? Will the self-invoice be applicable or the GT has to prepare the tax invoice? Audience are mixed. 50% are saying self-invoice, 50% are saying GTA. Fine. Fine. Listen the answer carefully. Listen the answer carefully. Listen the answer carefully. Self-invoice would be applicable. Self-invoice would be applicable if supplier is unregistered. In my example, the GTA, which is supplier, is registered. Yes, he is registered. Then the liability to prepare the invoice is on the GTA, not fall under, not fall. This liability to prepare the self invoice is on recipient. इस केस में recipient self invoice नहीं बनाएगा. He will not prepare self invoice. Why? Because GTA supplier is registered. Is it clear? Because supplier is registered. Is it clear? So now tell me, do you know there is a one more document required to be prepared in case of reverse charge? एक तो हमने सेल्फ इनवॉइस की बात कर ली, but this is RCM supply, sir. Absolutely correct. So one second. So I'll explain the doubt. So when I make the invoice to on the recipient, I will tick that checkbox. I will write that recipient is required to prepare or required to pay the tax and the reverse charge. I will make one declaration because I'm registered. I have to issue the tax invoice. I am registered. I have to issue the tax invoice. But on my tax invoice, I will give that particular point that tax is payable under reverse charge. Is that clear? One more. No, sir. Okay, fine. No, beta. Let me repeat. So I am transporter. Okay. And you are my recipient. I am providing the transportation service to you. So you will pay the tax under reverse charge. In this point, there is no doubt. You will pay the tax under reverse charge. Is it clear? Now, whether self-invoice will be required or not, when you read the law, it talks about self-invoice would be required only if the supplier is unregistered. In this example, who is the supplier? Maithili, who is the supplier? Am I supplier or you are the supplier for this transportation service? Who is the supplier? I am the supplier. I am registered. Yes, I am registered. So if the supplier is registered, then self-invoice will not be prepared. Okay, because why? Reason क्या? Simple reason है because GTA will issue the tax invoice. Now I'm talking about that there is one more documentation required in case of reverse charge. Can you tell me that documentation? Okay. Balamurugan, for which payment you are talking about? Which payment? By the recipient to the supplier or by the recipient to the government for RCM? How? Right, Maithili. Maithili, absolutely correct. Tax is paid by the recipient, but invoice will be issued by the supplier because supplier is registered. Absolutely correct. Next document will be prepared by the recipient always. Always. That is the payment voucher. That is the payment voucher. Clarify one thing, that invoicing would be applicable if my turnover exceed the kitna amount, how much amount? If my turnover is more than which amount, then invoicing would be applicable. Invoicing would be applicable if my turnover exceed. मेरी turnover अगर exceed हो गई कितने से, then invoicing would be applicable 5 crore in current year or in preceding year. In current year or in any of the preceding year? Preceding year or current year? Preceding year or current year? Only preceding year? Only preceding year? Yeah, any of the preceding year? Only preceding year? Yeah, any of the preceding year? Preceding years? Yeah, any of the preceding year. Absolutely correct. Any of the preceding year. Can you tell me any one sector who are exempted from e-invoicing? Can you please tell me any one sector who are exempted from e-invoicing? Sector. Okay. Banking company. If I am registered, if I am located in the SEJ, special economic zone, and I am a SEJ developer, I am a SEJ developer, not SEJ unit. I'm a SEJ developer. Invoicing is applicable on me or not? If I'm a SEJ developer, then e-invoicing would be applicable or not? E-invoicing would be applicable or not? My dear friend, always remember, this is the only provision which has given the relaxation to SEZ unit, not given the exemption to the SEZ developer. It means SEZ developer need to prepare the e-invoice. SEZ developer need to prepare the e-invoice. Sector, banking, GTA, etc. SEZ unit is exempted. If I am making the supply to SEZ unit and my turnover in the preceding financial year is more than 5 crore, do I need to prepare the e-invoicing or not? If I am making the supply to SEZ unit, will I prepare the e-invoicing or not? Listen my question carefully. It appears there is some doubt. I am the supplier located outside SEZ, making the supply to the SEZ unit. On me, invoicing is already applicable. When I am making the supply to SEZ unit, will the invoicing be applicable? Answer is yes, applicable. See, SEZ unit, no e-invoicing when he is making the sale. My dear friend, when you are in SEZ as a unit and you are making the outward supply, then you will be exempted. But if I am making the supply to you, it means it is your inward supply. I will prepare the invoicing. Is it applicable to B2C or only B2B? Invoicing is applicable to B2B or only B2C or both? Whether e-invoicing is applicable B2B, B2C or both? B2B. B2B plus one B2C also. Which B2C are under e-invoicing I can say criteria? कौन सी B2C सप्लाई पर भी e-invoicing applicable होता है? You, Kuldeep, I am talking about e-invoicing, electronic invoice. It is only invoice that is okay. That will always be received. But I'm talking about e-invoicing. Tell me one thing. Whether export are B2B or B2C? Whether export are B2B or B2C? Exports. Exports are B2B or B2C? Oh my God. B2B का मतलब क्या? What is the meaning of B2B? What is the meaning of B2B? What is the meaning of B2B? My recipient is registered. Where my recipient is registered, am I right? Where my recipient is registered in business. In the GST, meaning of B2B means when I am making the supply to the registered person in the GST registered person. And when I am making the supply to export, whether foreigner would be registered in the Indian GST, whether foreigner would have the Indian GST number, क्या वो फॉरेनर के पास में इंडियन जीएसटी नंबर होगा? नहीं होगा. Then the supply is B2B or B2C? Answer is B2C. Answer is B2C. See, here B2B and B2C is not like business to business and business to consumer. Here B2B means one GST number is making the supply to another GST number, and B2C means I am making the supply to unregistered person. So in this case, will the export be like, sorry, okay, ma'am, 1 minute, last minute. Whether export, if I am making the supply to export, do I need to prepare the invoicing or not? I am liable for e-invoice. I am liable for e-invoice. Let's say my turnover in the preceding financial year is more than 5 crore in any of the preceding financial year. I am making export sale. Do I need to prepare the e-invoice? Answer is yes. This is the one category where GST recipient is not registered in GST. I need to prepare e-invoice. Always remember, e-invoicing would be applicable for B2B plus B2C only export. B2B या export है तो मतलब export will always be B2C because recipient is not registered. तो एक तो B2B हो गया और एक export, दोनों के लिए जरूरत है. ठीक है. And what is the dynamic QR code? What is the applicability of dynamic QR code? What is the applicability of the dynamic QR code? When my turnover exceed how much amount? When my turnover exceed 500 crore. Absolutely correct. Last question for the day, important. Last question for the day, important question. Suppose I am banking entity. I am banking, for example, ठीक है, and invoicing is exempted ना. Do I need to prepare the invoice? Answer is no. So my question is, if the supplier whose turnover is more than prescribed limit 5 crore in any of the preceding financial year, but e-invoicing is exempted on that category. I'm banking company, I am sales unit, I am transporter, any category you can say. In that case, what is the additional requirement on tax invoice? When I raise the tax invoice, what is the additional content or additional requirement which I need to mention on the tax invoice? This is the last question, because this is the recent amendment, so that is the reason. Not recent, काफी टाइम हो गया, but ठीक है, important है. Last question है, can you please tell me? And after that, I will hand over the same to ma'am. So fine. The last question answer is that I need to mention the same in the declaration that I am registered liable to prepare, but I am exempted from e-invoicing. Now I am handing over to the ma'am for taking the session further. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. As usual, very interactive session, and you go through a lot of quiz from students so that their concepts get clear. Students are able to retain the provisions. So we already have exceeded the times, but friends, I am sure that as already in the earlier classes I have apprised you, these are the live virtual revisionary classes. So we hope that before attending the class, you go through the topic which is scheduled for a particular class. Then only you will be able to reap full benefits. So before ending, let me just throw four very because we are already exceeded the time. So four rapid fire questions to you. Question number one, just tell me whether a person who is making any interstate taxable supply, does he is he required to take registration? Please give me, it's a rapid fire. So just give me a quick reply. Why? Why he is required to make apply for registration even if his turnover has not exceeded the threshold limit? If the turnover has not exceeded the threshold limit, but a person is making interstate taxable supply, so is he required to apply for registration or not? Yes, Nagaraja has given the correct reply. Kuldeep, Nagar, Vijayal, Arora, very good. Right answer. May I know answer from other students as well? Any other student? Nikhil, yes, very good. See what happens in case of interstate taxable supply, section 24 of the CGST 2017 applies, which says that compulsory registration. We are required to take compulsory registration. So even if though the threshold limit is not met, but a person is required to take registration compulsorily. Next question, a very important one. Tell me the state where a person is required to apply for registration in case of if a person makes supply from the territorial water of India. This is the provision which is generally overlooked by students. That is why I am touching it. And I will just take two rapid fire more questions. Tell me the state from where a person is required to apply for registration if he makes apply from the territorial waters of India. Bala Morgan, please specify your answer. And any other student who would like to give answer? I can understand this question might be seems to be a tricky to you. Okay. 2 or 3 students have given the correct reply. So without taking much time, let me give you the answer. In case if a person who makes a supply from the territorial waters of India, in the he is required to take registration in the coastal state or union territory where the nearest point of the appropriate baseline is located. Right? So this is the provision which is generally overlooked by students and sometimes it gets tested in the examination. So last question of the day. If taxable value in supply is less than taxable value which has been charged in the tax invoice, so which document is required to be issued? If one or more tax invoices has been issued for supply of any goods or services and taxable value in invoice is less than taxable value in respect of the supply, so which document is required to be issued? Good, Abhimanyu, your answer is correct. Mahalakshmi, no, your answer is wrong. Nikhil, your answer is wrong. Any other answer, please? No, sorry, Bala Murugan, your answer is wrong. See, if taxable value in invoice is less than the taxable value which has been charged in a particular, which has in a tax invoice, then a debit note is required to be issued, right? And one of the student has given the answer, wrongly answered the bill of supply. So let me tell you the provision pertaining to it, that a registered person who is supplying exempted goods or services, or if a person is paying tax under composition levy, then in these two cases, bill of supply is required, not tax invoice. Similarly, receipt voucher is issued when a supplier receives advance payment from recipient, then a receipt voucher is issued. So I hope that your provisions are clear and good to see that you people are interacting. And before you join the next LVRC, please go through the topics so that when you attend the classes, your provisions get covered. You are able to analyze yourself, assess your performance till now. And one of the student is asking, ma'am, whether I should attend LVC or LVRC. See, the purpose of LVRC is live virtual revisionary classes. These are live virtual revisionary classes, and these will help you only if you have already gone through the provisions, only gone through the topics in detail. So first of all, if anybody student is directly attending LVRC, I think that student might not get full benefit, because first of all your concept should be clear. In LVC, all the topics are taken in detail, thorough manner. Teachers go through all the provisions in a sequential manner. So the purpose of LVRC is just to take through the question and answers, rapid fire quizzes, so you are able to assess your performance, you are able to know whether you are understanding the provisions or not. Right. So next LVRC is on it's the Friday and Sunday are the classes. And fortnight, for the fortnight program, see, we don't these fortnight program is available only live only. There is no recording as such. So but anyway, we will host a very soon success at CA exam session for you. So if you have any doubt pertaining to the any query which you want to know from our side, basically Faculty Board of Studies, you can join the success at CA exam in large numbers. You can scan the QR code, and I think all the flyers are there web host on the they are already web hosted on the BOS knowledge portal. You may go through the website ICAI.org. You will see the flyers and see you there in the success at CA exam. And also please go through the topics before you join the next session. Sir, sir always takes a lot of efforts. He always throws a direct rapid fire rounds, direct application based questions. And I think if you have already gone through the provision, and nothing best could be from our side, that all the provisions get tested in a very interactive manner. So thank you, sir, and thank you, students. Good night, and see you in the next session. Please go through the topics. You shall be taken in the next session thoroughly. Yes, done.